Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Joe. I'm building a mobile food business that in the past 10 months has generated $100,000 in gross sales. And I want to spend today just talking about 3 things that I would do differently if I was starting a mobile food business today. These are 3 mistakes that I made in my food trailer whilst building it over the past 10 months. And I want to pass these along to you. Maybe if you're thinking about starting a mobile food business, have a listen. There's some good stuff here, especially the last point. So the first one is staying too niche. Now, when we first started, we started as vegan. You can check out some of my other videos where I talk a little bit more about that first 10-month journey. We started vegan because I obviously wanted to do something that was close to home. My partner's vegan, I'm not. I like making burgers. I wanted to make one that she could enjoy. Check out the other video. We were vegan for 6 months. We were supported by the vegan community. We got our name out there. We'd see posts that we'd make be shared in vegan communities across the Gold Coast, Scenic Rim, Brisbane. We attended vegan markets. Our name was definitely getting out there. However, we just weren't getting enough support locally during our trading days to make it a worthwhile business. Now, we would barely just make enough to cover the site fee, cover produce, cover fuel, maybe pay me just a little bit, but not much, maybe $1,500 for the whole week. So it's a bit of a shame, but I think the biggest mistake that I made was holding on too long to that. It was really difficult for me to make that change. But then coming to terms with the fact that, well, we can still do vegan. We can still operate another griddle that is completely vegan. We just now use that second griddle for toasting buns, which is vegan. And then when we get vegan orders. So it hasn't really affected us in any way. What I would do is I'd be much quicker in the future to identify what's not working and fix it. Yeah. Now moving on, my second mistake I would say that I made was whilst building my trailer, I probably purchased the wrong equipment. And so we purchased a mobile food trailer. It had no equipment inside of it, no gas lines. It had one outgoing 15 amp lead. And I thought it would be easier to buy electric equipment than install gas lines, get gas compliant. And then, it would just be cheaper, right? So the problem that I face here is as we were starting to grow and get a little bit more busier, which has definitely happened now that we've swapped away from vegan, is that our growth has kind of been stunned for a little while whilst we can't operate all of our equipment off grid, right? So we now use 2 griddles and a double deep fryer. Now with that, that's we run one 15 amp lead, and then we run 2 10 amp leads. So we need 3 separate power points just to operate the trailer. And so that meant for a little while that we couldn't operate off grid unless we bought a big generator or lots of small generators. So with that, again, I was probably a little bit more quicker having learnt my lesson with the vegan food to identify change. But we've purchased a gas griddle, which has been so helpful. And it means realistically, we can now operate on one 15 amp lead. So what I would do is not dismiss the equipment that might seem like the right thing to do, but it might be cheaper to go another route or easier. Have a think about long term. We now operate off grid 3 days a week, which is it's been really good. It means that opportunities have opened up for us. Some markets, in the previous video, I was talking about the different types of income streams. Some markets, they only give you one 15 amp lead. So there'll be markets that you won't be able to go to. Some markets are completely off grid. So just consider the equipment that you're going to be buying, how it's going to work in the future when you are bigger, when you are doing more. So yeah. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is not building systems sooner, right? So as you know, I've hired Corey, who's my new manager. Until I hired Corey, everything was inside my head, right? All of the food ordering, the setup, the pack down, the social media, everything was inside my head, right? So it feels manageable until it's not. And then when it's not, it's stressful. I underestimated how quickly our business would grow and then outgrow me. So then as you're getting staff coming in, and you're doing more days, you can't take a day off without the business stopping, right? And I think ultimately that's the difference between owning a business and having a job, is that you need to create systems in place that you take a day off and the business can continue. I just wish I did that sooner. So like with that being said, right, having Corey come along, it means that all these things that were inside my head, I had to get them out and I had to get them in front of Corey. Things like, time blocking and ordering food and social media. And these are all things that now Corey can do. I can take a day off. I go on holiday this month, next weekend. I go away for 4 days over a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the busiest 4 days of the week. And this business is going to run without me. And this is going to be a test for Corey. There's going to be a lot of learnings for him. There's going to be a lot of learnings for me. But the truth is, I'm actually able to take that time away and it's going to run, right? And so if I was to start again, I would focus on repeatability and structure. And I think, if you're starting a small business, you're probably going to have a bit of downtime. Look at installing systems in place. Now, on my next video, I'm going to talk about 3 books that are going to really help you to wrap your head around how to build systems. And yeah, I think there's a lot of really great learning in there. And yeah, I'm not going to touch on it anymore. We'll do that in the next video. So guys, if you are following along, keep up to date with our business. Our business is Wanna Smash. Facebook is Wanna Smash Street Food. Instagram is wannasmash.au. If you like what you're seeing, guys, follow along. Like I've said in every other video, I want this to be a very authentic feeling video. Everything that we do is going to be completely out in the open. I'm happy to discuss anything with you. So with that being said, guys, thank you very much and have a good day.